All right, good afternoon, investors. This is my first go at going on a live video here on our Facebook group page. So I hope this is working out well. What I want to do today is I want to dive into how to run your own numbers. A lot of times we get calls throughout the day and somebody's wanting us to run numbers on 5 different properties. And if we're actually out showing properties, we can't run the initial numbers to see if it's good for you or not. So it's critical as an investor, you know how to run your own numbers. And since most of the people that are on this group page are actually from Bigger Pockets, I'm going to use their calculator to show you how you could run your own numbers. So here I am on Bigger Pockets. If you just simply go up to Tools and jump over here to rental property, it's going to pull that screen up for you. And there's a little video on how to do it, which I'm going to show you here now today. But you could also go on here and watch this video as well. But it's simple as just saying start a new report. And I've done this part way through, so I'm going to be learning along with you. I use a different spreadsheet that our team created to run our numbers that goes into a little bit more detail than this. But what I'd like for you guys to be able to do is run your own numbers. And then if a property works, we're running numbers to see how they match up to yours on the properties that are good versus trying to run these numbers on 10 different properties and 8 of them don't work. It'll help to narrow down for our team to really dive into the ones that you like and free up a little bit more time. But let's just start a new report here on the Bigger Pockets webpage. And for today, I'm going to use this listing over here, 1697 Liberty over in Akron. This listing was brought to us by, let's see here, this is EXP Realty. I ran the numbers on this one the other day on our calculator, but for today, I'm going to run it over on here. So let me copy and paste this in. This is in Akron, Ohio, and then our zip code is 44313. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that portion of this. All right, so next we're going to go on to our purchase price, and we're just going to use the list price in this case. Jump back over here, $199.9. So we'll just plug that in right here at the top, $199,900. Purchase closing costs, let's throw in $6,000 just as an average. I know a lot of you want to be very specific on that, but in this price range, let's say 0 to 400,000, 6,000 is kind of a fair number to throw in there, and depending on your lender, that's going to change. But for right now, let's just put that in as an average moving forward. So we got 6,000. Will you be rehabbing this property? If the answer is yes, and you check this box, you're going to put in your rehab costs in there so it can calculate that property. But for today, I've seen this property before. It's not in bad shape. I don't think there's going to be many additional rehabs that we have to do. So let's go to the next tab. So our down payment on this, because it's a duplex, we know it's going to be 25%, or it could be a cash purchase. You could check that up here. Interest rates, you're going to have to check with your lender on a daily basis to figure out what that is as you're running these numbers. But for right now, I'm putting in about a 6.875% interest rate for an investor to do this. Points charged, again, we're going simple. We're not trying to talk about buying down points or anything like that. Not on this video. If you want to talk about that with your lender and plug that in, you certainly can. And then on here, as far as our loan term, we're going for a 30-year loan. Next, we're looking at gross monthly income from this property. So let's jump back over to the listing. And when I say I'm jumping to the listing, I'm looking at the MLS where this listing is located, which did I close that little screen? Let's see here, Matrix, there it is. All right, so, but you could be pulling this back up on Zillow, you could be pulling it up on Realtor.com, any number of pages where you're getting the listing information from. But the bottom line on this one, I've got a 700 rental and I've got a 645. So 700 plus 645, we're looking at 1345. I'm going to jump back over here. My total gross monthly income is $13.45. And then next, we're going to jump into our expenses, our property taxes. Now, property taxes are one of those things. Most of these listing websites will show you what your property taxes are. But I also want to throw out there to you guys, if you want to go ahead and jump onto the county where the property is located, onto their auditor site, usually you'll find your tax information there as well. But for today's purpose and to speed things along, I'm jumping back over here and I see the taxes are $28.49. So jump back into the bigger pockets piece and they're $28.49. Insurance on this property, I'm going to throw in $1,000. And this is where it becomes important that you have an idea of an insurance agent that you're using in certain areas so that you could get quotes on that information to move forward. I know on a property of this size and stuff that it is going to be about $1,000 for the homeowner's insurance, just doing this for a long time. Usually, if you're pricing something that's anywhere from $100,000 to $300,000, you're going to be good from $800 to $1,500 plugging into this portion. Now, ongoing maintenance repairs, I'm going to throw a number in there or a percentage. It looks like it wants a percentage on this for you to plug in there. I'm just going to say a total of 1%. Let's just get that out of there. 1%. It's saying $13 a month, so that comes out to be, actually, let's make this 3%. So $40 a month worth of, some months you're going to have it, some months you're not, but on average, if you were to take 40 times 12, yes, you're going to be fine there. Now, right now, vacancy factor is very low because we have most of our units are filled. We use this on our spreadsheet as well, a 5% vacancy factor for the year, because it's very easy to put people in there. Capital expenditures. What are some items that you're going to have to go over every year? Less than frequent improvements, things such as roofs or maybe a new water tank or a furnace or something. You can throw that in there. The idea behind capital expenditures is to calculate a small monthly amount built up over time that would be sitting in a separate account that you could easily pay for that water heater or whatever it may be. So for today, let's just ramp that up to, we're going to throw in 2.5%. Let me just type it, it's quicker. 2.5% into, that puts about $33 a month. That might even be a little bit high. Let's just put in 1.5%. And then you got $20 a month that's being set aside over years to pay towards a roof or something large. Now, management fees is always going to be 10%. We had $13.45. If you take that and multiply it times 12, that gives us an annual income of $16,140. So our management fee on this is going to be $16.14. Let's see here. It wants to do management fees in a different way. Let's just put in 10%. That might be an easier way of doing it. There we go. All right, so electricity, if you're paying for the electric or you're paying for the gas as a landlord, you would plug those fees in here. But again, for flying through this and showing you how to use it, you'd have to dive into each listing and understand what is the owner responsible for. Usually gas or sewer, something like that may be a responsibility, but most of these duplexes have separate meters and you can have the tenant sign up for their gas or electric. But for today, I'm not going to throw any into these. You'll throw those in on a case-by-case basis with each property. And then that's pretty much it. We're finishing the analysis up, and then it's going to spit out a report to us showing us what that property looks like as far as your returns. And that can all be adjusted based on the information that you put in. But you see here, without really diving into that property, it shows a negative 222 cash flow per month. You'd know immediately, hey, this is not a property that would work for me. But here's where I want you guys all to pause, take a break, and don't jump to the next one. The rents on that property might have been low. So if they're only charging $700 a month in a rent, and you look and you jump over and look at maybe a rentometer, or you use the bigger pockets calculator for calculating local rents, and you see that same property I've already pulled it up. That same property is showing an average rent of about 812. So now you're going to take this average rent, or based on the condition of the property, maybe even go up to 889, and you take that, multiply it times 2 because you have 2 units, and you throw that into your rental amount. Rerun this calculator and see what your numbers look like then. Most investors stop with the rents that are currently being collected. They don't look at what the rents should be in the current market and what they could raise them to if they own that property. Trust me, a lot of landlords buy a property, become friends with the tenants, and they leave those rents at or near where they originally started, and they don't raise them over years. Now all of a sudden you've had that property for 5-6 years and you've never raised rents. There's no way your friend that is a tenant, you're going to raise their rents $400-500 in one fell swoop to catch up to market rents. You should have been systematically increasing them all along. Their loss, our gain as new investors. We look and see what the market rents are, plug those in, and see, is that a property that would cash flow or give us a better write-off on our taxes? Whatever your standard is for purchasing a rental property, that's what I want you to be doing. But this is a super simple way. You see that? I mean, this video has been running 11 minutes and 22 seconds. I could have probably done that if I wasn't making a video in about 5 minutes. I could have plugged that information in and figured out, is this or is this not a good income producing property that I want to dive in a little bit further in and discuss it with my realtor. I hope this video helps you guys. I look forward to seeing more of these reports being sent over from my investors saying, hey, look, I ran the numbers and here's what I came up with. You can print this report and you can share it to me. Actually, you probably can share right there with the share button to a text or an email and say, hey, here's what I'm coming up with. Tell me what you think of this property. Now I have something to compare it to, and I'm not just trying to run my own numbers and see where it's at. I'm saying this property is already good. Let's really see how it performs. And hopefully we'll be putting an offer in on it as soon as possible. The other thing is, by doing your own numbers, it really helps expedite some time, because some of these listings, when they hit the market, if it's a really good one and my team is out showing properties and nobody can get to you to run those numbers quickly, it allows you to run them and be ready to throw in that offer as soon as we get back. So I appreciate all your guys' time. I hope this live video worked well. We'll know here real soon. I'm going to jump over to Facebook and watch it. But I appreciate everybody's time. And if you have any questions about investing in properties, running these numbers, or questions about the video that I just threw in there, please use Facebook, or you probably have my contact information if you're on this group page. Send me a text, email, whatever it may be, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.